Gladiators, we're finally here. It's the Scandal Season 6 finale, TikTok Transfer of Power. We're so sad and also so shocked, but we're going to be talking all about that coming at you right after this.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
So sad. Can we all hold hands?
Yes. We can.
Wait, I'm gonna go in the same sway way. Okay.
Sway. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute.
This is to your Scandal Squad.
We're creeps.
This intro's so long.
All right, that was good. That was good.
We needed our moment.
Yeah.
We got a 2-hour finale though. We got a lot to talk about.
So much.
So we're gonna just jump right into it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to our Scandal Season 6 after show here at AFTERBUZZ TV. Whether you're joining us in the live chat right now or listening online, wherever you are, thank you so much. I know it's late, but we had a 2-hour finale. A lot to cover, a lot to talk about. I'm your host, Christine Alexis. You can find me all over social media at Christine Bean with 3 E's.
I am Parris Rose. I'm sorry. I'm having a moment, a serious moment right now. I'm Parris Rose. You can find me on Instagram and Snapchat at Parris Rose with 2 R's.
And I'm Jessica Williams. You can find me on Twitter at Miss Jessica WW and on Instagram at Miss Jessica Williams. Last episode, guys.
Last episode.
The
Season
somber music. I'm
finale.
gonna cry again.
Season finale.
To say like all the feels is like an understatement.
Yeah.
I'm so shocked. I'm sad. I'm mostly shocked and sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna leave it there.
Yeah.
How are you guys feeling on this end of the table?
Same. I am shocked, sad. I thought I'd be feeling a little bit happy, having Mellie, but all of it's kind of somber. Seeing the changing of characters with Kerry Washington, Olivia. It's too much for me and not happy for me, actually.
It's a lot. It was a lot to process. I mean, 2 very dynamic back-to-back episodes filled with the answers that we've been waiting for this entire season. And the somber effect kind of comes because we've come to the end of the season and we've got all our questions answered. So Scandal didn't do us like they have before with a strong cliffhanger. But now we're like, everyone's changed.
Yes.
Who are these people? Why did this happen? Yeah.
You're right. We didn't get the super dramatic cliffhanger that Scandal normally delivers to us, but like you said, we got a lot of our questions answered. A whole host of new ones unanswered. I guess we'll wait till season 7, being that it is the last season of Scandal. The writers had to give us something to look forward to. Our beloved characters are completely different from the way we met them season 1 and even just the beginning of season 6.
Yeah.
So a lot of changes happening in
We should
Washington.
have played that song, I See a True.
Oh, true.
Yes. But wait, I'm dying laughing. First off, chat room, you guys were already there. I think probably like an hour into the show.
Yes.
You guys came on early because I know that we have people watching from different coasts. And so you guys, came in, and I love someone commented, Matthew Nicholas, he goes, oh, the girls are wearing black for a funeral? I said I didn't know.
Low key, it is a funeral. I mean, we all just wanted to slay, but
Yeah, we were like, final episode, let's
Just nice,
be
and just
Charlie's
nice meant black.
Angels.
So
somehow that's
Let's
just
be
what
a singing group because we know how much you guys love our singing. We know you don't.
let's dive in because we have a lot to go over.
We were brought into this episode right where we left off on last episode, which is with Mama Pope, trying to figure out why she's in Washington, what she's doing, who she's working for, and what the ultimate end game is, which is, to assassinate Mellie, but why and what's supposed to happen next. And while she's imprisoned, we get like these weird monologues from Mama Pope, and she's just going off, and it seems like every 10 minutes there's someone else coming into the room, or she's talking to some other, just talking to herself, trying to like bait people to come talk to her.
I actually believe Mama Pope the whole time she was there. I know you were still like, I don't know, Mama Pope plays games, which is very true. But again, you very smart viewers, many viewers had mentioned that, yes, they do believe Mama Pope is in charge, or like a part of it, but not in charge. And I'm like, Mama Pope can't be taking orders from anyone. She is in charge, guys. But when I saw that the interview with her, I knew, okay, I think Mama Pope's telling the truth, and the viewers are right again. She's not in charge. And I was thinking the whole time, who really is in charge? I know you were still like indecisive.
I wasn't sure. The
But
whole episode, I was like,
the viewers are right. Again, I believe you guys. I have faith in you guys. So I'm like, they're right. They said someone else is in charge. So I believe her, and I'm waiting to hear it.
Yeah. First off, that scene was hilarious to me. Like, you guys, I was doing so much inappropriate laughing while she was doing her stuff because I was dying. Like, she literally lost her mind.
Yes,
I mean, I want to know, I want to ask, like, the actual actress, like, how was it playing that scene? Because it was such a long monologue, and she did such a fantastic job going in and out of weird characters and doing these facials and sounds.
TikTok.
How hard is that? To sit there and be like, what you just did?
It's very
At one
hard.
point, she kind of stammered over herself, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, like, this lady done lost her mind.
imagine how many takes they did of that.
Exactly. But I love how she stays true to Mama Pope and her girl bye and girl come on, can't you help me,
baby?
You know, she's like, so much for Black girl magic. I was dead. I was like, wow. So I was unsure if it was Mama Pope being honest. I think that it was so nice seeing such a transparent and vulnerable connection between Mama Pope and Papa Pope. We had Mama and Papa Pope, and that was pretty great. Seeing them, you know, go back to their memories, because we touched on it before, like, we don't know their past. We saw Papa Pope being vulnerable with Sandra before, but never knew his weak side for Mama Pope. So I love that moment.
She spilled the tea. She was like,
Yes.
oh, they got to Sandra, the woman you always compared me to.
Yes.
Every time. You know, like, that really did shed light on their relationship. And I thought this episode was great because seeing the dynamic between them two really made me understand Liv and who she is and the two people that she came from. I mean, she got some badass parents. One is like super smart and stealth.
Yeah.
The other one's a cold-blooded killer, also super smart and stealth. I mean, it's kind of surprising to me that Liv didn't come out knowing how to use knives. And
Right.
whatnot, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But prior to this episode, I was curious if it was all just a power grab, but I'm glad to know that it wasn't for Mama Pope. She actually was trying to help. We obviously didn't find this out until later in the episode, but interesting that they brought her back in this way. I think it had everybody kind of like geared up to think it was something else, but
Yeah.
This season has really changed, at least my opinion, on both her parents. I already said it last episode. I think Papa Pope, I did say that he was a dad, but you were right, that he's more of a father as opposed to a dad. I said a dad because he, I think, loves Olivia unconditionally. And I actually think Mama Pope might too. Surprisingly, I thought no way until this episode. I thought, she loves Olivia. And I also changed with my thoughts on Papa Pope. Because I do think, as crazy as he was as command and as dark and evil as he was, I do think his intention was to serve the Republic. I really do. So this season really changed my thoughts on the popes. All the popes.
all of
No,
them.
Yeah.
that's true. I agree with that, like, in the fact that I always felt like Rowan was there to protect her, and he set himself up with B613 to always have control and be in power, to know who's killing someone before they even do it, all to protect her. And I think that's why in previous seasons we've seen Papa Pope get so mad because he felt that all his work went down the drain because she was serving the white man, as he said, like, you're going to sleep in the white man's bed instead of being the woman that I created you to be. And as far as Mama Pope, it's funny because all the reasons last week that I thought it could be Mama Pope, she kind of broke down like, oh, you think that I did this because of this and that. And I was like, oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And she was like, no. And it's like, okay. So it did make me change my view of Mama Pope. I agree with you, Parris, but it wasn't the first time. I mean, if we think back to the season that Olivia was captured, season 4, when she was kidnapped, Mama Pope lended her alias in order to be on the blacklist. I mean, to be on the black market to bid for Olivia. So she came through in that way, but there has been so many ways that Mama Pope undermined Olivia and kind of so you can't trust her. So I didn't know to trust her or to not.
I think both of the Papa and Mama Popes, they both are kind of funny. They move a little bit shady. Yeah. I think, like you said, the end game is always to protect Olivia, but how they go about it, I think, speaks a lot to their egos, their individual personalities, and we saw that full force this episode. Yeah. But I don't want to jump too far ahead, but now that we were talking about, the fact that Eli used that moment to reinstate B613, I'm curious if that was his plan all along? Like, is that how he intended to stay in the mix? Because a couple episodes ago, he was so ready to just leave it all behind. But now that Liv is, solidifying her place in the White House, is that how he planned to stay? Because he was the one who brought that to Fitz.
He was.
You go.
I don't think so. And the reason, because I felt like it was a last minute decision because he lost all power at that point. When Fitz told Olivia, do not let, your mother go. And when he said, just keep your mother there, she's in prison. When Rowan said, keep your mother there, she's in prison, she can't hurt anyone. Olivia defied him. And so, like he told Fitz, she now holds all this power. There has to be some level of balance. And you're able to be the balance. You're able to, all that spill, which I was like, first off, you mean to tell me that little old weak Fitz is going to be running B613? I think not.
I wonder if he tapped him because he knows that's Olivia's weakness.
But then what would be the goal there?
I don't know. I mean, maybe because he could be the one to get through to her in tense moments. I'm not sure. But I just thought it was. I thought that whole random. Thing was weird. I thought it was very random and very weird. I'm like, why now in the middle of this crisis do you want to reinstate B613? Like, they're already kind of like this super group that they've put together to handle everything.
The team, the team.
So I was like, why go that far? I thought you guys had it all together. I mean, Jake himself can be B613. Right. This dude has like everything.
It's true. I'm gonna say I was really naive and liked the idea of B16 being reinstated with Fitz being the leader. At first I was thinking, why Fitz? Command, you don't even like him.
Yeah.
But for the reasons he stated, which could have been for manipulation, but that he, wants to serve the Republic and that he knows how to kind of handle his power. He's not going to let it control him.
Yeah.
And so I thought, we do kind of need a B613. We need someone to do the dirty work, and Fitz won't let power control him. So I kind of liked his thoughts about it. I don't know if it was real or not, though.
I liked it because it fed my mind that maybe Fitz would stay in Washington and Liv and him could be together, but that was crushed right at the middle of the 2-hour point. They were like, no, he's leaving.
That whole thing was a bit dramatic. And okay, so two things. One, when it comes to B613, it was the 11th hour that they were trying to put it together. So I was like, what is putting together this coalition, funding it underground? All of a sudden, they're going to be able to find Mama Pope. You guys, all of the B613. I mean, let's not forget that it's Rowan, that it's Jake, that it's Charlie, that it's Huck, that it's Quinn.
Yeah.
You got 5. You got all the remaining ones because everyone else got shot. So what can you guys do as a coalition that you can't do now? So that whole thing was weird. And that whole scene, I mean, not the scene, but the emphasis on President Fitz leaving Washington. I'm like, you all have money. I mean, it's a plane ride. People do long distance relationships all the time.
They're like, we'll never see each other again.
That's what I was thinking, right?
Oh my God.
Like Vermont. How far away is Vermont from Washington?
Not
DC?
that far. Like,
act like he was moving to Japan.
I thought the same thing. Like, guys, if you wanted to work, they were all like, well, I'll always remember you. Guys,
run across.
It reminded me of the Bodyguard. It reminded me of the Bodyguard. I thought of Whitney Houston. I wanted the I really wanted that moment. Scarf blowing in the wind. I really wanted it.
I actually thought it was, I thought that whole her running out into the lawn was super dramatic, but the Olitz fan in me was like, okay, one last time. But I thought it was funny that he was like, the cameras. You don't think they've seen everything by now?
And they know everything by now. Talking about the cameras. They know.
Yeah.
She's been your mistress already. Like, it's been there, done
in your bed.
Yes.
Like, come on. That's hilarious.
But as though I'm not a Olitzer, I am a fan of the show, and I'm a fan of all things that's, connected to the show. So I get moved and I get emotional based off of what happens.
Yeah.
And I mean, come on, we're talking about season 1 to season 6. That emotion, that scene on the lawn, I had tears in my eyes,
too.
and
Me
I
too.
always hold them back, guys, because I don't want to mess up my makeup for the show. But I'd be like
Me too.
I was that.
Literally doing the.
She was.
I think at every point, each one of us had something that we were getting choked up about.
Yeah.
I think from like 45 minutes till the end, I was like,
right.
please
It was
don't
a
play
lot.
that back. See my ugly cry face. But I want to switch gears really quick and talk about Mellie, because the main premise of this episode was trying to protect her. It was the minutes leading up to the inauguration and making sure that she was safe. And I know that we were all on the edge of our seats in that
Yes.
scene where they're all on the what's it called? What was the word they used for the stage that they were on?
I don't know.
I'm thinking
C.
platform, but
The platform. We're gonna just say
Yeah.
keep it simple. The platform. And Liv's on the phone with Maya. And it's so tense. We're trying to figure out who she's like
Oh,
saying the
yes.
ducks, who
Yes.
she's gonna shoot. God, in that moment, I had no idea that it was Luna. Like no idea at all.
I'm there racking my brain. I'm thinking everyone else. I was also for sure thinking a man, which is wrong of me. But I really was not thinking Luna. She was last on my list. But I can say, since we're talking about Mellie, I know people are like hating on us for, or at least me, maybe Jessica too, for really believing that
Probably.
Mellie deserves to be president.
Oh.
But didn't you guys feel it this
Oh my God,
episode?
yes.
That speech where she's like, I'm gonna go out there. I deserve this. The people deserve this. It's the first female president. I'm like, you go, Mellie.
Yeah, when they
Yes.
were talking about, like, they don't deserve, like, she can't be, in the Oval Office, shuttered behind some windows doing this in secret. Like, this is for the people. How
Yeah.
many people took buses, planes, went across the country to see her? That moved me so
Yes.
much.
Me,
I
I
agree.
had goosebumps.
God.
I really did. I mean, I was feeling for Hillary Clinton at this moment because I was like,
know.
damn, this could have been her moment. But I was like, this made me like relive it. This
did.
moment.
It did. And talk about symbolization with Hillary Clinton when she had to give her speech to concede the presidency.
Yes.
She actually was wearing a purple blazer in real
was?
life. Yeah. So when I saw that,
They are
I naturally
funny.
went back to that moment, and a little brooch on the side as well. And so I was like, oh, Hillary. Oh, Hillary.
That is so fun because I noticed that purple.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, that speech was empowering. I'm so happy because when I first watched it and Liv was like, oh, well, you have to, I was like, no, we can't hide the inauguration. She deserves it. And even that moment when Mellie was speaking to Fitz about what would you do? And he was like, I would counsel it. I was like, no, you wouldn't. First off, we're talking about Fitzgerald, like he is all about the show.
He loves attention.
He loves
Yeah.
attention. He likes things to be out there, which is understandable and it makes sense. And then, so that's what I thought at first. I was like, no, you wouldn't. But then he went into like this really compassionate reason
He had a
as
good
to
point.
why. He was like,
Yeah.
because I was shot. I thought that she was asking like, if you were in my position like 8 years ago, what would you do? Not like today with all your experience, but that's true. How he described the moments of being shot. Did it go through y'all's head like, dang, is that what it's like being shot? It hit you like a punch and then it
actually
burns?
did.
I was like, so it burns.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Before
didn't
you
know
go
that.
unconscious. I was literally thinking about being shot.
I always imagine a bullet to be hot. I mean, it's coming from a smoking
Yeah.
gun, so it's coming at you
Smoking
fast, it's coming
gun.
at you hot, but that was really graphic, and it totally brought me back to that season and how that played out.
Yeah.
And it's weird how just talking about how he got shot and how significant that was, parallel to, the driving force behind why Luna did what she did, because when her husband got shot, how powerful it made her, and the whole, allusion to Jackie Kennedy and everything like that. I thought that was very interesting about how they made Luna's character so involved, because I know fans in the live chat were saying it a couple episodes ago when she was announced as VP that it was kind of random.
Yeah.
I felt that way.
We all did. It was just like, okay, yeah, she's a safe choice, but like, why? And she, she was a new character that was introduced to us this season.
Right.
Considering next season is the last season, how would they, A, would she make it out of this season? And B, would she be influential next season? I mean, clearly not. Homegirl's dead. Heart attack, passed out.
Well, just 3 things on Luna. Number 1, my suspicions kind of got intensified when we found out that Meg was a part of, when we found out that Abby's episode, okay? when we found out she was involved, and it backtracked her steps and who she was in contact with. And a big situation happened at the hospital. So when the person came up to her and was like, you need to do whatever, and we're like, who is it? And then she turns around and it's Meg. I thought in that moment in my heart, I thought it was going to be Luna that was in charge of things at the hospital. It was a weird. I did. It was one of those weird thoughts where I was like, I don't think that she was over it all, but I thought that they got to her maybe after the shooting. Like, if you want your kids to live, then you better. Yeah. You're the only one that's in this was it secure area?
Yeah.
So I was like, they had to get to someone close to Vargas. And then how she was like, oh, my phone, blah, blah, blah. So in that moment, I had that inkling. Then you remember last week, well, let's say tonight, when we were watching it, there was a moment, as we were watching it live, it clicked in my head. Before it was announced on the show, before they did everything that led up, and I didn't want to spoil it for the girls so we could all like watch it. So I texted myself, I said, capital letters, I said, Vargas's wife is the, person. And so right when they announced it on the show, and we are like, oh my God, I said, look guys, I said it.
What? You said it before?
But I had to text it for timestamp.
I too had a similar moment like you, but with Cyrus. Because that whole little snippet that they kept showing of him at home, stuffing his face with brownies and being like a schlup, watching, like, something about that whole scene, how dark it was, gave me vindictive vibes. So to find out at the end that he was a part of it, I was still very shocked, but something about it was fishy to me, because I went into this finale thinking, I want to see how everyone's set up for next season, how all the relationships will end. Will they come full circle? Where is everyone going to end up? Where is their place going to be? And I had a question mark around Cyrus. I mean, I had one for Jake, too, because I still feel like he's just kind of there, and we don't know what he's doing. But he's clearly like a utility knife, like a jack of all trades. Yeah. He's there for
whatever.
To be Jake.
Yeah.
Yes. But with Cyrus, I'm like, okay, you're not in the presidency. You're not connected to anything. I mean, even Fitz was like going out and had a purpose. Marcus had a purpose. Everybody had something to do, but where did that leave Cyrus? So to find out in the end that he had a hand in all this, I was like, oh, Cyrus, you dirty dog.
Well,
dirty dog.
Go ahead, please.
I actually like that it was Cyrus, because it being Luna, I'm thinking she is not smart enough to anticipate that she would have been chosen as VP. How could she have planned all of this out? And to find out that it was Cyrus, I'm like, Cyrus is smart enough. Yeah, Cyrus can anticipate whatever. He knows the characters. He knows Olivia.
Sees the bigger picture.
He knows everyone, how they think, how they will process whatever's going on. So it makes perfect sense that he was the brain behind it, because he is the brain. So I'm like, yeah, okay, it's not really Luna, it's Cyrus, and that makes perfect sense.
But can we just say, if we roll back to last week, as we were wondering what's going to happen next, I have to identify the fact that I predicted this. This was my prediction last week. I said, I feel like Mellie's not going to die. I said, I feel like Luna's going to die and Cyrus is going to be the VP.
You did say that, and I thought you were bonkers.
You did.
Yes.
That's for you.
Definitely.
Thanks.
You get that credit. I thought, how is she seeing this? How?
Yeah.
You're right.
So as it was happening, I was like, oh, but of course there were some shocking elements thrown in there. You can't predict it all. But I was like, wow, this happened.
You said that Luna's gonna die, Cyrus gonna be VP, and that's what's gonna happen. You're right.
I will say I'm so happy Mellie didn't die. That would have just crushed my soul.
Me too.
Honestly, love Bellamy Young, love her character. Yeah. And just doing prep for this week's finale, I watched a ton of press that Tony Goldwyn did and Kerry Washington did on GMA, and the cast all did a Facebook Live earlier today, which was so funny. If you guys have a chance, go to the Scandal Facebook page and check it out. They did a lot of trivia about their favorite lines that their character has said, and just little set secrets and stuff like that, which was really cute. But cute. Kerry Washington did let it slip on many networks that this episode we would really find out who Liv is. Yes. And her character, I guess, reached self-actualization. And over the course of the season, many people in the live chat have always thrown out things about Liv. At the end of the day, she's a little crazy. She really just wants power. She's just power hungry, and alluding to that being really who she is. And she has so many vulnerable moments. But this episode, it really came down to what is Liv made of. When the chips are down, we saw it early on where she literally took matters into her own hands and almost strangled her mother to death. And then at the very end, she literally was like, "No, I'm doing this my way." And had the balls to take Luna out that way.
Right.
So do we think, like, this is really who Liv is?
I think this is who really everyone is. It was very clear because Olivia started off with this white pure hat and now she's pretty dark, so you can see the change.
Yeah.
But I think you can see it on everyone. This is really who Quinn is. This is really who Abby is. And as much as I hated Abby for, really messing up, Abby has a good heart. She's a good person, and this is who she really is. It's who everyone is. It's who Huck is. It's who Charlie is. I think this episode, I have no questions about anyone's character anymore. I know who Fitz is. I know who Papa Pope is. I know who Mama Pope is. I got all my answers.
You feel satisfied?
I'm like listing every damn character I can list. I'm naming because really we got a full evolution. Everything we've seen before was just who people thought they were, who they're trying to be, who they're hiding from. And this episode showed everyone's true colors, good or bad. So I really appreciated that.
I know, Jessica, you want to chime in. Let us know what the live chat's thinking as well.
I am. There's another point we'll have to circle back to that someone mentioned. But in this particular point, I feel that we did see a layer of Olivia. I don't know if I can say that this is who she is in a sense of she just had it deep down inside of her that was waiting to come out.
You think it's who she's become?
Yes, I think that
parents.
due to circumstances and her being pushed to the limit is what exposes her inner warrior. And because her situations is never negative, vindictive, it never is for the antagonist, for the bad part. She's always the protagonist. She's always trying to save the day. So when she gets pushed, has to do with, honestly, the last 2 times of killing someone had to do with protecting Mellie. And the surrounding people. Let's think about what happened when she did kill. By the way, I love when she's like, who in here killed a vice president?
Yes.
Yeah, me.
Proud of it.
American.
Right. But look at what it took to get her to the point of smashing Andrew's head in. She was captured. He was now threatened. They were going to let him go. He was now threatening everyone in the White House. And then now you have Luna and what she did. She couldn't just keep her around. She didn't technically kill her. She just delivered the pills that did it.
Can I counter that?
Please.
Because I see what you're saying, that you feel like the circumstances, the sentence made her this way. Mm-hmm. However, if we're pretending that this is the real world, and Olivia is a pure person just like all of us, I don't think you guys have smashed anyone's head in. She's just this pure, very
Tuesday night,
very authoritative, powerful, intelligent Black woman. Mm-hmm. Anyone with that characteristic, I don't think is capable of really, no matter what. I really do not feel I can smash anyone's head in with a chair unless they're attacking my family, like my mom or my brother or sister. But Olivia, I think she always had this in her. She has 2 assassin parents, so I think that she tried to be this powerful, this pure good person, and that both her parents realized that she was way more than that, and they were always trying to pull this real side out of her. That's what I
have to agree with you, because up until mid this season, she kept talking about wanting a clean path to the White House and doing things the right way and fighting for justice and what's right and just doing the straight and narrow and keeping the white hat on, which I totally agree with. But I think what turned dark with her was her methods and how she got there. And I think power just ultimately was what drove her to do the things that she did.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
But I was just wondering, when you say power drove her, in this situation, I don't think it was power that drove her. I think that it was literally saving Mellie's life.
But in the end, the last steps that she said on the steps was just how does it feel to be the most powerful person in the world? And she said it felt right. I think it's both.
I think that in the midst of this season 6, we have saw her try to keep the control of the power and not lose it to the other side and fight for it. And I agree with that. She was very driven by power. But how I personally feel is that what made her kill or enact violence or anything on someone else had to do with protection first. So that's why I don't feel like she, because honestly, if it was all about power, then fine. Let Mellie get killed. And then what? She already has rank. Okay, let Luna become president. And who would be a better vice president than Olivia? And then have Luna killed. And then now she's president. So I feel like she has too many resources to truly enact her plan if she just wanted power. I think that she got pushed to a point of no return.
Yeah. Look at the regular people. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Look at the regular people. Look at Mellie. I mean, Mellie has done some dark things, but her personally, Mellie herself, hasn't done anything. She hasn't murdered anyone by herself. She hasn't called these crazy shots.
She said by herself.
She hasn't. Look at Fitz. I mean, they've done crazy things. Fitz went to war, but he himself has not done any of the things that Olivia has done on her own. Olivia found this strength, this dark strength, easily. Like
the first thing that she did was what? Kill Andrew, right?
Yes.
Okay. She was captured and she was tortured and she was not fed and she didn't think that she was going to get out. So she was about to be sold on the black market to another country that would rape her, that would do horrible things to her. She suffered. Mm-hmm. She went through so much. So she was still going through, she had post-traumatic stress disorder when she came back. She was not Liv. She was not our Liv when she came back. And so I think that being confronted with a person that did that to you, and that person is not taking the deal that you're offering, and they're threatening you and everyone else around you, she was so enraged that she killed Andrew.
Okay.
I think you definitely have a point in the fact that certain events have pushed her to become this person. And I think low-key, her parents this episode were dropping gems to her, like, take things into your own hands. Because Papa Pope took things into his hand by going after Maya. Maya took things into her own hands by trying to assassinate Luna. And at the end of the day, that was the last words that Maya left Liv with. Like, go take it back, honey. Like, this is on you. So
last words from Papa Pope. Last words from Papa Pope is, you are not the prey, you are the predator.
Yes.
They get it. The parents get it.
They know.
Especially because he always said to Olivia, you don't trust me because you feel that I am the predator. But what you don't understand, Olivia, is that I am not the predator.
You sound like Joe Martin.
Yeah, that was good.
I am not the predator.
Right.
You are the predator.
But one thing, though, I will agree with you guys, and we can meet at the point of, I do feel like she's crossed over, and now she's crossed a line for future things to happen. Like, I'm scared of the Olivia to come. I felt like she had to do what she had to do this episode, but now, I'm sorry, we know, black parents, you don't disrespect them. She told both of them in one episode, you cross me again, I will kill you.
I believe it.
But I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Where do you say this at? Where they do that at?
Right.
And then you choked your mom? I'm sorry.
That was a
would have
crazy
came out.
scene.
She would have found a way to snatch out of those restraints.
Crazy Mama Pope was like, it's okay. It's okay. I understand.
She was probably like, that's my baby.
Choking me, almost killing me.
Everybody's Maya Pope's baby. Everything is baby. Oh my God. She was great. I love that they brought her back for this finale. That was an awesome way to kick things off going into season 7.
Can I sneak in
Oh yeah, for sure. Live chat.
So Matthew Nicholas, I died laughing when I saw it scroll up. He said, should Olivia have switched dresses with Bollywood Mellie?
It was so Bollywood.
So when I read it, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, can we give her
like,
shady
what does that
boots
mean?
to the costume designer?
I was like,
what the heck?
Yeah, she was looking like she was about to bust out a Bollywood dance.
I thought geisha, but yes, Bollywood.
That was hilarious to me.
I wasn't a fan of the choice.
And you said it on the spot. You're like, I thought, did you say like I wanted something more flowy?
At first I was like, yes, because I saw the red and I was like, oh, it's going to be a really regal gown. And then I looked down and I'm like, it's straight.
There's little
no
jacket.
Train. I mean, can we call Michelle Obama because she slayed the hell out of that?
Yeah,
both inauguration balls. I mean, I don't know. That was kind of disappointing for me. But I mean, Bellamy looked great.
Yes.
Olivia though. Olivia slayed. We got all of our lives from that dress, and she made up from all the cloaks that she was wearing, earlier in the season.
Her waist looked snatched, and her hair. I was like, oh, they brought out the straight wig for this.
She straightened her hair.
She was so fly.
Curls, like, I don't know.
The way that train opened up at the bottom, the silhouette off the shoulder, the dark navy.
She looked gorgeous.
Pretty great.
But can we take a little detour? Since we're talking about all the darkness and the seriousness, can we talk about the happiness with Quinn?
I know.
Let's get there.
Can we toast to Quinn?
Yes.
Because she can't drink.
Yeah. Quinn is pregnant which I have to say, out of all the little bombshells they dropped, I was definitely not expecting that. I don't know how the live chat feels. Did not see that coming. And for a second, you know, I really thought she was gonna bolt. I thought she was just gonna leave town. Like, you know, had her and Abby not had that heart to heart, who knows? But we do know who felt away in this episode, which is Huck. I know the Scandal fans saw that little moment in the corner where I think it really hit Huck that it's done for those two. Yeah. I mean, he pushed her away when, you know, they had their little moment after he was down this season, and you know, there was always that gray area between those two, but now she got a bun in the oven. It's over.
It made me sad because I realized the same moment that Huck realized it was over, I realized it's not happening with Huck and Quinn, and I was so sad. I actually do like Charlie. Sorry. I do like Charlie.
What was that? You like Charlie?
He's just such a funny character. I prefer Huck and Quinn.
I'm just, you know, giving you crap because
I do like Charlie, but I just had a moment with Huck when she said she's pregnant and they had this kissing moment. I should be happy for for Quinn and Charlie, but I felt like I was with Huck in the corner like, so it's done. It's really done. We're not going to be anything.
Yeah, that's so fun. I mean, it's fine. It's okay to like Charlie. You know, I thought that he was the murderer that was behind it, and I said, I see you, Charlie, but he wasn't the one, so it's okay. You know, we can like him. But guys, this is our first OPA baby.
I know.
Our first OPA baby. Maybe the only one, considering we have one more season. But
how does that fit in there?
Because, you know, Liv crushed our dreams.
Yeah, like she'll never, talk about power being gone. But anyway, when I was surprised, I never thought that Quinn was going to leave. And even when she had talked to Abby about taking over, I was like, you don't get to just offer this position to anyone. It needs to be ordained from Olivia. Like, you don't get to just, and plus nobody wants Abby
to be
run it.
AWA.
For that reason and for so many others, like I don't see her. Unfortunately, she's just drifted so far to the White House and then got corrupt and then coming back like a little sad puppy. I don't see her being over OPA. You don't feel anything
for her character at all anymore?
I do feel empathy. I think that it's time for them to forgive her. I mean, honestly, she's gone through a lot, and I know that it wasn't meant to be, you know, she didn't mean to be involved in the way that she was. So I was happy when Quinn brought her back in quicker than Olivia would have forgiven her. Quinn forgave her quicker. And it's time for her to rejoin the team. She's going to be out of the White House. I agree with her coming in and being the chief of staff, but I'm sorry, that position of running OPA was just so coveted, and it was such an emotional transfer of power last week. For you to do all of that, to receive that power and be like, yes, I want you to run this. I'm going to go off and live my life because now I'm pregnant. Girl, bye.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing.
And the words of Mama Pope.
Like, what?
Girl,
we had such a moment last week, and now you just, like, here, take it. I was like, this is not, she doesn't deserve it like this.
I mean, you know, it's that fight or flight mentality. She couldn't handle the seriousness of what was happening to her, so she wanted to just bolt. But I'm glad she didn't. Yeah. She can stay.
It's kind of funny how the boys, the men don't have any, like Charlie, Huck, they're not even up for discussion.
The men don't have to say anything. Jack diddly squat. I mean, this episode was all about the powerful women on this show. Yes. And kudos to Shonda Rhimes. I mean, she dropped so many gems from Mama Pope's monologue, talking about black women bearing the load. I mean, just...
Yeah.
Like...
Somebody said, they're like, I want to know who wrote Mama Pope's monologue. They said it in the chat because... It went far beyond what the situation was. Clearly.
Shonda really wanted to address real world. She's like, we're going to talk about the black life right now. Yes. So I really like that.
I appreciate that. I mean, Shonda always does her fans good. Question is, will she give us what we want going into next season? Is this a good time to do our season 7 predictions / wrap up for season 6?
I'm trying to think. Did we get everything?
I don't know.
I don't want to miss anything now.
Right.
We can't
we can't shorten
go
anything.
back.
I mean, Quinn in the office. I mean, one just cute thing when she was redecorating. Well, honestly,
Shady Boots.
Yeah.
So Shady Boots to me kind of falls into what I'm saying. So Quinn went into the office. She redecorated. I love that Quinn is wearing a suit now. Yeah. Have you guys noticed? Like, she's not just, being normal. But when Olivia walked in and she turned and she stopped and she looked, And Quinn's like, do you like it? He goes, doesn't matter what I think, as long as you like it.
That was my moment.
Good. Okay, so this is the
I
table
wrote
of
it
shady
down.
boots.
It was the shadiest.
That was because she looked at it so long, and she was like, if you like it, that's all that matters. And that creepy like doll look. So yeah, there's our shady boots moment.
Can we think of like our best shady boots of the season? I feel like it's the finale. Let's talk about it all.
I'm gonna say the shadiest people of the season are the Popes, Mama Pope and Papa Pope. Mama Pope had some shady moments, especially when Olivia was putting on that very great act, like she really believed in her mother, and I believe you, I'm here to save you, and her mom's like, you're not.
Game recognized game.
Yeah,
girl.
you're not fooling. No, but I just love these moments where they kind of fall out of their very professional character,
Right, very
and they get
nice,
like
well-spoken, right.
like game recognized game. Olivia had said trust,
Yes.
Yeah.
these moments where I'm like, okay, so you're real people, all right. So I think the Popes in general like win shady boots.
That,
family.
Can we talk about that scene that you just brought up though? Because when Olivia, I was like, girl, take it back. You're going too strong.
I felt the same
It
way.
was too much.
It was
Yeah.
way too much.
First off, Olivia has visited her mom on plenty of occasions in that jail cell, and she never cared. And
She
to
never
come in,
touched
she
her.
never cared.
Yes.
She
Yeah.
did too much. Mom, I'm here for you. Let her out. Mom, I'm here for you. Let her out. Give her food. Give me your hand. I'm gonna get you out of here. Let her out now. Like it was like, whoa, on steroids, Mama.
Yeah.
And I love how Mom Pope was like, really, you believe?
Mm-hmm.
That look that she gave was like,
She's like, okay, now you overdid it.
yeah,
All right.
it was too much. And her trusting her to leave and to have that tracker. What I would have did was knocked Mama Pope out. I would have slit her 8 times and put like as if it could have been 8 spots that the tracker was in.
Oh
Therefore,
my
she had
God.
8 wounds. Therefore, she wouldn't know. She would have had to pick out the tracker from 8 different.
They need to. They
I'm
know.
sorry,
They
you and
need
I
to
really
do
thought
that.
about that. Like,
Jesus.
how do you make sure? Because if you say, "Oh, we're gonna put tracker in you," oh, okay, go ahead and put it in my neck, like the same old thing. She knows where to pick it out. I would have
That's
slit her
true.
8 times.
I mean, that was a super, super dumb plan. I
Yeah.
gotta say.
Yes.
Like, it was like, really?
Yes.
This is the finale. We're gonna go that route. Okay. I mean, obviously, it was a setup for something bigger, but I love how everybody checked her. Like, really, Liv? Really?
Right,
That
yeah.
was the way you decided to go about this? Liv was so steadfast. Like, no, I am right. I trust my mother. I'm like, you just said you trusted your mother.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like, go.
Well, how did you guys? Sorry, because I just want to address this. How did you guys feel about the way Luna died? This pill she had to take. 2 pills she had to take.
I thought it was interesting that Jake was by her side. He's always by people's side when they die. Whether it was James, Cyrus's dead husband from way back when, and yeah, he's just
His
always-
ex-wife's
his
father.
Yeah, like
He's always
kind of
by people's side.
weird.
there.
He's almost like the Undertaker.
Yeah, or the Grim Reaper.
The Grim Reaper. That's what I meant. Why did I say the Undertaker?
I'm glad that you brought up the Luna because we really didn't talk about this massive plan,
Right.
going like deep into it because I'm sorry, a lot of questions were answered, but I still have questions.
What are some of your questions?
Well, for one, okay, so at first what went through my mind was, so she's behind it, so that means that she had to kill her husband. Like, why would you do that? And how would you think that this plan could go from A all the way to Z? Because I'm sorry, it was Z her getting in the White House because she was never on anyone's radar. And so many people had to die and then not be elected. Let's go through it. So Cyrus, Vargas gets shot.
Yeah.
That would have made Cyrus the president-elect. But because of the scandal that happened, he was taken to prison. So it jumped sides. Was that in the plan? Because one of the thing about the 2 Live crew, they were always like, we need Mellie in the White House. That is our goal. Well, if the 2 Live crew was working for Luna, then how did they think that Luna would hold the ticket to invite Vargas's wife on? Why would they think that they would cross from Democrats to Republican? How did she think that even... And another really strange thing was because the 2 Live crew was in charge, their request was for Parris to be vice president and for Miss Rowland to be chief of staff. If that was their plan all along, why wouldn't they say, well, we need Vargas's wife to be the vice president? How would they have made that transition?
Yes, those are my questions.
maybe that
Those are
part of
mine.
the plan was put into place once Cyrus was out of jail. Maybe that was his.
Right.
But Cyrus out of jail for what? Where
Was
did
Cyrus
does-
always the head? Like what?
That's what I'm saying. Like, was he behind? Like, when did he become involved in this major plan?
And what is his benefit? I'm sorry. So let's say this. Maybe if he was behind it all, maybe his plan was just to kill Vargas and then he becomes president. And maybe he would have elected, if he had the opportunity, Mama Vargas, wife Vargas, crazy lady, as the VP.
Maybe that could have been the plan.
Either that, or she probably would have planned to talk her way into that spot and like appeal to Mellie as like, you know, I want to continue my husband's legacy, like woman to woman. Like, I want
Right.
to support you. Let's make a bipartisan effort.
But that wasn't.
But if
that
Cy
doesn't go.
if Cy became president, I'm guessing then Luna could have been VP, and it would have worked perfectly too because she had just lost her president-elect or the new president, and it would have worked perfectly. So if that was the plan, I get that. If it wasn't, then I'm
agree.
confused.
If that was the plan, only because he was hit with a curveball.
Yeah.
Because of what Olivia found out, and then like trying to say no, he's the one, and they sent the police to his home to get arrested for the murder of Vargas because of Tom. Now Tom probably was the curveball because it was Tom's confession that said no, Cyrus made me do it.
Yeah.
So that is deep.
It's very
That
deep.
is so deep. It's so intricate.
Yeah.
I think the wine is keeping me from
And
understanding.
even okay, so and then also my confusion and frustration had to do when Olivia found out that it was Luna, and she was like, you know, we're gonna handle this, and Luna's like, no, we're not, because you need me. And she was like, well, our options are out. I was like, I'm sorry. In what world does it make sense to keep this person? Because if Luna had planned for Mellie's death, you know,
she's dangerous.
she could kill Mellie at any time. She's always the next order of command. So for them to be like, oh, it's over, for Mama Pope to be like, let's move on, for Daddy Pope to be like, I'm leaving, like, why is this the end?
Right. I mean, she was the head of these two crazy assassins, Roland and Parris. So how are they? It's definitely this damn wine that's making me mumble. But
That's great.
can we have we forgotten that she is the leader of these two very crazy people?
Well, Cyrus
Well,
is the leader. She's just a
real.
pawn.
Yeah. Cyrus is.
I think Cyrus sold her that dream, and like I think they were probably on the same page.
She had to be
all
really
of this.
wicked to be like, yeah, kill my husband. Yeah, kill the father of my
That
kids.
is
He
true.
must have. I mean, Cyrus, you've heard his speeches. He can talk anybody into doing anything.
To murder the father of your kids, who just became president. Lord have mercy.
I mean,
I didn't
you're
want to be
right.
first lady.
That
That
is
said.
yeah.
That
I
is
never
a
wanted to be
stretch.
first lady.
But considering how he ended that conversation with Liv, saying, "Well, the question now is how are you going to get rid of her?" I think that was probably his plan the entire time
To get rid of her.
Like work with her up until that point and let her get there, and then just get rid of her.
Right.
So
And Liv is gonna keep Cyrus. That is like the symbol of that Liv is changing. She's like, kudos to you, Cyrus. This was your whole plan. Ha, you're good. Keeping you. What the hell? This is the symbol that she is a different Liv.
I agree, but I actually also think it was like actually the most transparent moment for her, because for her to like cast him out and be like, "You're so wrong for all that," it's like you've done a lot of stuff yourself.
That's
true.
true.
So I felt like at that it was a recognized game at that point, because
I mean, I feel like she's done a lot, but I feel like I still go back to her. A lot had to do with everything that Cyrus started it. Like she was trying to like counteract his plan all along, but I think that she was high on power in that moment, sitting out there, that he trapped her. It wasn't like he said, I killed her, this was my plan, and she was like, okay, cool, let's cheers. He said, so those funds, because remember when we were watching, I said, you see Cyrus's face? He recognized where that 0.03% of funding was going. He knew what that meant, and he put it back in her face. So it was almost like I'm not gonna say blackmail, but it was a catch-22. Like boom, boom. And she's like, okay, because at the end of the day, and as I said, and as I continue to say about Cyrus, we know who Cyrus is. He is very transparent. We know who he is. So you rather have someone that that's powerful, that's your friend, that's been here from the beginning, and you just know their dirt, than some random who you're gonna elect.
Before we get into predictions, because I know we need to get there, I just want to talk about The one character, because I said almost all the characters have evolved. We see who they really are. The one character who hasn't evolved is my good friend David Rosen.
David Rosen.
He has been this weak
Rosen.
character the whole time, and I feel really bad for him.
I don't think he's meant to be anything more than what he is, really.
Just a pawn, and everyone uses him.
A pawn, but also like weirdly comedic relief and just like a light storyline here and there. He's also a facilitator. Don't get us wrong. Like you know, he is the AG who happens to be really cool with everybody who does all this stuff in Washington. So. I don't know about you. I'm just saying I'm okay with where he's at.
I always love to see him.
But I was like, dang, they did him wrong this episode. They kept discarding him like off to the side. Like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Or if we're going to do a parallel, of course, to what's going on right now in the real administration, they were keeping him for information so he couldn't testify or have knowledge about it because he is the attorney general.
Yeah.
These people are actually running the White House in their big positions. With all the craziness.
Work's still happening.
Yeah.
Right. Like, wow.
Wow. It's been a crazy season, to say the least.
What are your predictions for season 7?
I mean, overall thoughts for season 6 and predictions for season 7 for me. I really enjoyed this season. I thought that they made a really strong showing to bring this show back to what we really love about it, which is the drama, the tea. I know throughout the season we spoke a lot about, are they going to get back to doing cases and whatnot? I think that part of the show is behind us. And I just don't see that coming back for season 7. I think it's going to be about Liv coming full circle. She is the center of this show. I truly believe, now that we've seen her cross over to this dark side, season 7 is going to just be just a crescendo to some sort of situation really defining Liv even more than we've seen, and how she chooses to exit the White House, because I mean, this is far reaching, but I don't see her staying in power through to season 7. Like, I think she reaches a high point and then drops out. We'll see. I'm really curious to see how this governing power will work with Mellie as POTUS and Cyrus as VP and Liv as chief of staff. I mean, I am really just curious to see how that all wraps up. And I'm like really sad as an Olitzer that Fitz is gone. I mean, who knows for how long?
Right.
Tony Goldwyn teased that on GMA when they asked, like, do you see your character staying with Liv and how do you feel about that? He's like, I want them to be together. Obviously, that's always my hope. Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize it then that he was like dropping some tidbits like, hey, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I keep going back to the 100th episode and how they gave us so much just to like
tease it. Yeah.
So I love this season. It's been such a pleasure to host it with you guys. And I'll be back here next season. I don't know about you guys, but
we'll be here. Same place,
hopefully.
same time.
We'll see. Thoughts on this season and season 7?
I think the opposite of you. Woo! I actually think because we only have one season, we can't really get too much into the drama of the White House, that I actually think they're going to go back to the cases at OPA.
Really?
Especially because now we have a team again. We have Abby, we have Quinn, we have Charlie, we have Huck, so it's an actual team. And I think that they're going to focus more on OPA than the White House, since Mellie was never supposed to be the theme. We're not focusing on Mellie in the White House, so I don't think they're going to be so hard on what's going on. I do think we're going to see a crazy Liv next season that we might not like. We might love to hate her type thing. I think that they will end up together. The Fitz and Olivia, I think Olitzers will be happy because
happy right now.
Yes, because they made us think that it's done this season, and I think that that's just to like pull on us, and like we're gonna be super happy when we realize that they're actually back.
I mean, so Jake's single. He's in town.
They kind of tease a little bit this episode, like, oh, Jake's back at the knocking on the door, but it's not Jake. He's not it.
I know. I was like, she's like, I know what we're gonna do. I was like, yes, but yeah,
that's it. So
I wasn't thinking about
go.
Set up the vice president for her own death. But I agree with you. I am opposite of what you think in reference to what's going to happen next year when it comes to OPA, because I do feel like they made it a point to reincorporate Abby back into the fold. I think that, where can they go? They focus so much on the White House this season and the election and all of that. I don't think that it's going to be more heavy on the cases. I think that it's going to be neutral. And I honestly feel like we're going to circle back to first season in that same tone, except now all positions have been shifted. I feel like OPA will have their cases. They're going to need to collaborate with the White House. And now, you have Mellie and everyone and Cyrus is at the White House. I feel like they're going to need some underground dirt devil agents out there to handle more major situations. And guess who's going to be over that? Olivia and her B613 team. I think that there's going to be scandal in the White House. Marcus is moving on to cover the foundation in Vermont. So there could be love scandals between Mellie and people who work in the White House. We're going to really see, I feel that we're going to really see her presidency unfold, because I feel in my heart that Shonda Rhimes is doing this for us, because we do not get the opportunity to see the first female first president in reality. And I feel like she's going to take us through each steps. We're going to figure out her cabinet people. We're going to see more women empowerment, more minority empowerment, and we're going to see what the actual government and administration can look like if people actually open their eyes and ears to diversity.
I hope she does show all the nuances and struggles that a woman president would have to deal with. The
biases, things that, like she said, every other male predecessor was able to step out and do X, Y, and Z. So she's going to be challenged with that. And in that same breath, let me just say, how cute was her new Oval Office?
Yes.
That gold, when you talk about putting a woman's touch, that blue went to gold. She had a gold chair. She had striped gold couches and polka dotted curtains and flowers.
She had a painting it was so of Victoria Hull, who was the first lady to actually run for the president in 18-something.
She was a big leader of the suffrage movement.
Yes, that's who she was. I had to Google her. I didn't know who she was. Yeah. But that's who the painting was. It was like you said,
Victoria
the first woman.
Woodhull.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, someone in our live chat just asked a question. Moonwalking Through Life is the name. And he said, or she said, so how is Liv gonna balance chief of staff and command of B613 at the same time?
We shall see.
We shall see. That remains to be seen.
Like Jake did. Jake was the head of the NSA, I think, at the time, or whatever major position that Fitz appointed him to.
Yeah.
And he was doing B613, so
I think if we learned anything this season, it's never to underestimate Olivia Pope. I think she can handle that and more, and we'll see her do it all next season. Ladies, it's been real.
Thank you to our followers. Thank you to our live chatters.
Thank you for giving our panel a chance, for loving and living through this show with us every week. It truly means the world to have you guys gush about Scandal with us. It's been so great.
One thing, a big announcement, guys. Next week, though we're not going to have the show, we're going to do a live Facebook stream, and it's going to be Meet the Host. We've been up here talking about how we feel about the show, but get to know us. Ask us questions. So come follow AfterBuzz TV on Facebook next week at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Yes. You can join us for Meet the Host, and be sure to join us because we want to hear from you.
For sure. Definitely. And we want to continue the conversation with you guys for the rest of the year on social media. Chat us up, tweet us, Facebook, Instagram us, all the social. I'm sure over the summer we're going to hear a lot about what's going into season 7 and just about anything. We'll talk more next week. You'll get to know us. We'll get to know you better. But all season long, it's been so great having you all. I'm your host, Christine Alexis, and you can find me all over social media at Christine Mean. It has been real.
Guys, I'm going to miss you. Find me on Instagram. I found a few of you guys. I'm Parris Rose with 2 R's. Find me on the gram and Snapchat.
Yeah, and thank you guys so much for the love. In all caps says, love you guys in the chat, so we appreciate that. And I'm Jessica Williams. You can find me on Twitter at Miss Jessica WW and on Instagram at Miss Jessica Williams. That's MISS. It's been real.
It's been real.
See you next week.
Love you guys.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.